Alright, so I'm gonna be switching between Hanako's good and bad ending. Right now, this is the second part of the bad ending. Or the 3 bad endings. I'm gonna show you all of them. I know one part is coming up. Anyways, she's currently in the OI ward, whatever. I don't know, it's Japan. OI ward? What's that? Thank you, Lily. I don't think I can talk much more like this. However, the look on the doctor's face doesn't fill me with confidence. The OI ward is our mental health facility. Mental health? I ignore the raging pain in my chest. Relapse? What? Take no more, I sink back into the bed. Easy now, I'll explain the rest for later, but for now you need your rest. Once your parents get here, we have to discuss your future. Girls, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave now. Hisao, we'll be back. Lily, check on Hanako. I will. Please rest. We'll come back later. The doctor ushers out the girls. They then return my bed to a horizontal position. Here, this will help with the pain. The doctor injects something into a drip bag hanging next to my bed. Initially, I feel the pain start to drift away. We'll speak in the morning. I had so many questions, but the drug slowly filling my system and gently forced my eyes closed. Dude, after the Katawa Shoujo, the last episode, the fanfics, and now Sword Art Online make me shed manly tears. I need to rethink my life. I need to rethink my life. Hisao? Hisao? I gently return to the land of the living. My parents and the doctor fill my vision. Mom? Dad? We came as soon as we heard. How are you feeling? The latent painkillers allow me to speak a little easier. Like poop. A faint, non-convincing smile creeps across his face. Good. Sorry to interrupt, but we really should discuss the problem. Hisao, are you alright to talk? Yeah, a little. Okay, now did you notice anything strange before your last attack? In short, grasping his senses, I explained the last week's events. Hanako's breakdown, the strange events at the end of the week, and the final incident in Shanghai. For a time, the doctor doesn't respond, but reads through the notes attached to his clipboard. He reaches the end, thinks for a moment, to start again from the beginning. Without warning, he places the clipboard on the table. You say that you are having trouble keeping track of time? Yes, I think. You were pretty confused, right? Yeah. Any time in the past couple of weeks did you miss your meds and try to make up for lost time, or did you take any other medication? Not that I can remember. Another pause. I don't think that medication will work for you, Hisao. I'm sorry? Doctor sighs and rubs the bridge of his nose. My mother, sitting in one of the visitor's chairs, starts to sob a little. People your age occasionally have some strange reactions to these medications, but we thought we had managed to get lucky in your case. A lot of the time it's simply nightmares or a bit of insomnia. But it seems that in your case it's much worse. Unchecked you could go, well, you could lose your mind. I see my father wrap his arms around my mother and pull her towards him. Ah, I think. I'm back. What I'm going to suggest may seem a little extreme, but at the very least it won't have these side effects. Anything, or try anything. I want to picture my support, but great waves of fatigue crashed down upon my mind. As a sign of my consent, I simply waved my lips and nodded my head. The doctor correctly interprets my motion, takes a deep, mournful breath, and speaks. I want to install a pacemaker. Pacemaker? Don't they only install them in geriatrics? Normally yes, but however your son's reaction to standard medication, I think it's worth the risk. I'm tired right now. I leave you to think about it, Hisao, but I'd like to show your parents some more information that's alright with you. Summoning my strength, I managed to ask one last question. How is Hanako? Doctor first tells me all I need to know. She's safe. I'll come back to visit you shortly. There's something about the term she's safe that seems so contradictory. Can I see her? Not just yet. Neither of you in the state that will allow that, I'm afraid. While saying more, he shuffles into the corridor and closes the door behind him. Through the thin door, I hear his voice fade away as he begins explaining the pacemaker to my parents. No sooner have I relapsed back into pillow, there's a gentle knock on the door. Come in. The sound of fumbling, but eventually the door opens. Out of the corner of my eye, I catch Lily's golden hair appearing in the doorway. You came back. Of course, we're friends. There's something about the way she says that fills me with hope. When I was in hospital last time, I almost felt as though my classmates visited solely out of obligation. Lily, on the other hand, seems like she would visit daily until the end of time. Some of the other people from the school wanted to come and see you, but the nurse wouldn't let anyone just yet. I can't do her voice, but I can assure you that everyone wishes you well. Thanks. Something about me doesn't doubt that. There's strange camaraderie at Yamako, probably because everyone there spent a fair amount of time exactly where I am now. It's not easy to appreciate a situation like this if you've been in it before. For now, only one question is on my mind. How's Hanako? I can't tell. What? Please, Hisao, be calm. The doctors won't let anyone see her just yet, and they won't tell me what's going on. You just say that she's not allowed to see anyone until she calms down. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not sure. ... So, just how much do you know about Hanako? Or the fire, her being orphaned, and that she's here. Why? That's all I know too, but I believe that we are missing something. Why is that? Lily's Hanako's accident happened when she was a child, yes? That should have been told. Then why is that she only joined the school in the junior year of high school? Memories flashed before my drug-guarded eyes. The nurse said something similar, didn't he? That Hanako and I were like who fell ill as adolescents. The doctor here, a relapse of what? Concentration and concern tightened my chest, causing unbearable pain, and I groaned involuntarily. So, are you alright? Should I call for a nurse? No, I'm fine, but I need to think. I understand. I'll see if I can find out more. Please. Lady departed for standing. Click, click, and again I'm alone. I'm just speeding through this. Because it feels like, whatever. It feels like hours before my parents return from their conference with the doctor. Their ashen faces don't bode well for me. Hisao, son, we think that the pacemaker is the right choice. Oh, but then what's the matter? There's very few pacemakers that are designed for people your age. You still got a bit of growth left in you and a fairly long life to look forward to. As a result, you would always have to be well within reach of a well-equipped hospital. Of course, you would have to have constant checkups, but I think that eventually you'll lead a fulfilling life. Call me skeptical, but his repetition of life is worrying. So when do we do this then? Doctor grimaces. Normally I schedule a procedure immediately, but I'm concerned about the damage to your chest. Ignoring the broken bones, there's a lot of damage and inflamed tissue in the chest cavity. I'm afraid that surgery at this point will only put you at further risk. The procedure to install a pacemaker involves heavy chest reconstruction as is. We can reset your ribs then, but we need to wait for the swelling to go down at the very least. I see. As if to confirm his diagnosis, I look upon my chest for the first time since the accident. He's right. I look like I volunteered to be a punching bag. Dark green edged bruises model my skin. The almost smooth, curvy shape of my chest is jarred with swollen lumps, and sunken areas where my ribs are still being set. So, what happens now? We'd like to keep you here under surveillance until it's safe to operate. After that, it'll probably be another week for us to monitor pacemaker's functions. Then after that, you'll be free to go. And how long would that be? Once again, the doctor's face falls. That could be some time, probably a month before we can operate. Since we're not sure which of your medications you reacted to, we use that time to run some tests. In the meantime, I'll let you school know that you're alright and that you can accept visitors if you wish. Thanks. I found my parents helpless and mourning, and for some reason it makes me uncomfortable. As much as I care for my family, I can't help myself but ask my next question. What's wrong with Hanako? Hanako pauses for a moment and my parents look at me quizzically. I can see it in their faces. Why is he asking about this girl? But I don't care what they think anymore. If I can't do anything for myself, then maybe I can do something for her. Simply lying here, not knowing how she is doing, is worse than any other pain I've felt to date. I'm not really the best person to speak to you about that, however I will send in someone shortly. Hanako, that's the girl that saved you, right? We'll repeat that they've been told the whole story, but that's alright. Explaining everything will take far too long, and I don't want to see how they reacted to me having a bunch of shit. Yep, that's right. Well then, the least we can do is pay her a visit for you. I'm afraid that's not quite possible. The doctors forbidden anyone to see her, at least not for a moment. That's preposterous. We can't thank the person who saved our son. I'm afraid that's the case. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to leave now. I'll call you when I have more information. The doctor walks out and my parents take place by my bedside. Dude, I am reading so fast. Hisao, are you going to be alright? No, I'm not even gonna attempt the mom's voice. Think so, but I guess I won't be able to tell until after the operation. What about you guys? Where are you staying? What about your work? We're staying at a hotel a few blocks from here. We've both taken leave from work. You don't need to stay here on my account. You heard the doctor. He won't be able to operate for about a month. I can't ask you to stay here that long. But he's right, dear. We can't afford to stay here for that long. Would you be able to manage by yourself? I've been okay so far. Well, mostly okay. Besides, my friends from school here are different. It's like they understand because most of them have been in this situation themselves. I can't ask you to risk your jobs on my account. My father seems to agree with this, but my mother's less convinced. But Hisao, we can't just leave you here. Dad tries to comfort her. Hisao's right. We can't stay here forever. This is the safest place in the world for him. And we can come back for the surgery, okay? My mother, on the verge of tears, nods in a nearly imperceptible nod. Okay. Thanks for coming up. It means a lot, really. I'm sorry for troubling you. My father ushers my mother out of the room. We'll see you soon, Kay? Kay. For some strange reason, I'm relieved that they are gone. Everything that's happened in the past couple of months, all the people that I've met, I feel like I can no longer understand the world they are in, just as they can't understand my world. But at least they care. I suppose that's enough. Once again, my thoughts turn to Hanako. She would have had to go through her troubles alone, and the episode 3, 2, 1. Can you imagine how that would have been? ... If I'm knocking, the door startles me. Come in. Sal, I'm Hanako's doctor. Do you mind if we have a little talk? I like it said doctor too. Hanako, how is she? What's the matter with her? When can I see her? The doctor comes into my room slowly and locks the door behind him. He looks a good deal older than my doctor, but has a much gentler demeanor. Just by looking at me, he makes me feel a little more comfortable. Before talking, he toggles his controller on my bed till I am almost sitting upright. He then moves one of the chairs so that we are looking eye to eye and sits down. Now, there, I know this would be hard, but I have to ask you to keep your questions for a moment. This may not be all that easy on you. Truth be told, I shouldn't even be telling you this, with what confidentiality. But I know that two of you are close, and your doctor said it might help you relax a little. And due to your condition, I'd like you to stay calm. Can you do that for me? Fighting against my broken ribs to take a deep breath. Yes. Sorry. Tell me, what do you know of Hanako's condition? Well, she was in a fire when she was younger and got pretty scarred, and that made her self-conscious, I guess. And that's all? That's all I know. That's all she's ever told you? That's all she ever told anyone, as far as I can tell. But I heard something about a relapse, and our nurse said something about her problems starting in adolescence or something. Ah, the music! Music breathlessly. Relax, I'll get to all of that in time. So you know, Hanako's accidents happened at an early age. In fact, she was still in her second year of elementary school. Once she got out of hospital, she returned to her old school, albeit under the care of a foster family. At the time, we decided that the more normal we could keep her life, the better it would be for her. She seemed to think that the fire was somewhat her fault, so the sooner we could get her back in a daily routine, the better. Wait, you were there? Pardon? Oh yes. I've been caring for Hanako ever since then. Doctor wipes his eyes a little as if rubbing away some distant memory. As I was saying, Hanako returned to elementary school, and things seemed to be going fine. For some reason, young children can be fairly accommodating, even with someone as scarred as her. See, why can't regular people be like that? And I'm sure you've noticed she's managed to conceal the worst of them. For a time, she didn't show any of the usual symptoms, sometimes who's been through such a traumatic experience. But things changed when she entered middle school. Teenagers are so forgiving, especially when struggling to find a new pecking order like in a new school. It wasn't long before Hanako was victimized and bullied into her shell, which is probably the Hanako you know. But she is strong, incredibly so. She's managed to contain it within herself and survive alone. Of course, at this point, none of us realized anything was wrong. She had survived elementary school unscathed and never spoke of any of this in our sessions, so we assumed it was just smooth sailing. But near the end of middle school, there was an incident. We don't know if it was meant to be a prank or if it was sincere, but a boy called Hanako out to confess to her. What actually happened, we don't know. All we know is that for some reason Hanako ran away and the boy chased her. However, in the chase, the boy was hit by a car and killed instantly. Hanako saw the whole thing and it sent her over the edge. Nearly 8 years of traumas, of bad memories, taunts, stares, isolation, Hanako cracked. Like most mental disorders, it's hard to give a condition an exact name. So after a few months in a mental ward, we were able to establish a regime of medications that would keep her calm. There were some minor side effects, but for the most part, she seemed to be able to cope on her own. She was able to make a friend, but she managed to confide in, and I think that helped a lot. And I think you helped her a lot too. She even mentioned you in our last session before this incident. But in a way, you reopened old wounds that had never quite healed. But perhaps this is for the best. She's been holding so much inside her tiny mind for so long. In some ways, she's never grown past 6 years old. For now, we'll just have to monitor her. She's totally almost non-responsive, but that should pass in time. The doctor sighs and takes a deep breath. Guess there's a lot to take in all at once, especially in your condition. I'll call for your doctor and get you more painkillers. You should try to rest. I'll keep you informed about Hanako. You're dear to her. That makes you dear to me too. While waiting for my reply, he stands up and strides out of the door. I get the impression that this wasn't too easy for him either. Wow. I mean, that's something. Anyways, the first visitor to my room at once again is Lily. However, instead of bringing along Yuko, she's joined by a pair of familiar faces. And it's the student council! He-chan, we heard you were skipping school, so we had to come and check on you. That's right, it's our job as council members. The simple act of receiving visitors lifts our spirits, and throughout the afternoon, a virtual parade of students marches through my room. As I expected, the reaction of the students here was totally different from those in my last school. There, everyone seems to be shocking, seeing me in a hospital bed and didn't know what to say beyond get better. But here it's almost as if it's totally natural to see a friend immobilized in a hospital bed. Only a month, eh? That's nothing, and you miss your exams, lucky. Definitely most of them realize that I can't talk that much, but that doesn't seem to faze anyone. They take in turns to sit in my room, sharing the stories of studying and the day-to-day running of the school. When the next visitor enters, they bid their farewells and vacate the chair. Throughout the entire affair, Lily stoically sits in a chair closest to the door. Hour 6 till after the visitor departs, leaving Lily and I alone. Lily, I have some news of Hanako. Could you close the door? The trouble looked at my mouth is so dry. The trouble look Lily gets me to mention Hanako's name reminds me that it won't be easy for either. I need to go get water. Oh man. Still, she gently gets out of her chair, pushes the door closed, and finds her way to the chair next to my bed. So, I take it you've learned something? Lily, you once told me that Hanako told you everything about her condition. What exactly did she tell you? The music! Oh, now I'm smacking my leg. Ow. Lily looks a little shocked but manages to speak. She told me that her parents were killed in a fire and that she was badly burnt. Is that wrong? Dude, that part just reminded me of that Halo 3 main menu song. Anyways. No, it's not wrong, but it turns out that it's only half of the story. Whatever do you mean? Hanako is mentally unstable. Slowly and trying to remember everything the doctor from the day before told me, I explained Hanako's condition to Lily. Face telling me that this is the first time that she had heard this part of the story. I finished by telling her about Hanako's present condition and her isolation from the world. I got a burp. For a time, none of us could speak. I never knew this. After all this time, she still didn't trust either of us enough. Perhaps she didn't want us to know, didn't even realize herself. Probably a combination of both. As a way, I can't imagine how she's feeling right now. You're right. I would imagine that would be quite lonely. I just feel so helpless, I can barely move, let alone getting around. Just want to see her, to let her know that I'm there. As do I can't imagine that her isolation is helping her. Tomorrow I will speak with her doctors. Perhaps we can persuade them to let us see her. Moment of decision. Nice. How Lily keeps a level head at times like this astounds me. Thank you, Lily. My mind, I'm not doing this for you, Hisao. Hanako is quite precious to myself as well, you know. Grim of a smile flashed across Lily's face, and in that moment I know that everything is going to be fine. Lily is quite the capable negotiator, so she'll be able to organize anything, right? Just Lily turns to leave, and turns up for Charlie food. Oh, I'm sorry, miss, but visiting hours just finished. That's quite alright, I was just making my way out. So nurse feeds me my dinner. I thought to once again turn to Hanako. Hospital food is When I had to get my surgery, I had like some orange ice cream stuff. There's a TV there. Yes. How did you know? The nurse smiles gently. The story of you two spread through the hospital like wildfire. The tragic figure, two lovers separated by their illnesses. It's not something we get here often. It's kind of romantic. I see a slight gaze come over the nurse's eyes, and for a short time, she stops hitting me to bask in the joy of the charming story. I wish it was that easy for us. But still, the nurse snaps back to reality. Well, I suppose it's not going to be easy now, but it's for the best. Both of you need your rest now, as painful as that might be. And when you think about it, it will only be a week or two before you can see each other. It's not that long of a wait. But all she said is so catchy. It does remind me of the fact that I've only known Hanako for a little over a month. We could possibly seem like an eternity, and a month that my doctor wants to keep me in here feels as long as my entire existence. The nurse sees me that's complicated and gives me a look that says, ah, youth. Can't help but feel it. Oh, it's hilarious. Oh. The door closes with a click and I am alone. I feel so helpless here, unable to even get out of my bed. Gently, I touch the tender areas of my chest, hard enough to feel the pain, but soft enough not to cry out. Hanako showed a number on me, huh? Seems like every rib is broken in some way or another. Bone seems to hurt when I move my chest or arms too much. I wonder. Using my hips as a pivot, I swing around so I'm perpendicular to the bed. White hot pain shoots across my chest, but it's gone again in an instant, replaced by the door back on pain down now. Summing up all my strength and holding my breath, I slide myself off the bed. The impact of the floor hitting my feet hitting the floor echoes through my bones and I almost cry out in pain. Collapsing back in the bed, I realize that with a bit of effort I can stand on my own. The effort, however, was exhausted and I quickly fall into a fit of sleep. Hisao? Hisao? Okay. Uh-huh. Alright then. Gentle voice recalls me from the void, and I open my eyes to see Lily's face hovering over my bed. Lily, what time? No, what day is it?